Hey guys, Penanggaman here, MasterChef Runner-Up 2017 and Oxone Indonesia Ambassador. So today we're going to be making my version of pisang goreng. Now this dessert is actually vegan, and the first thing we're going to start off with is a toasted coconut ice cream. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your stand mixer, and what we're going to do is we're going to start off with placing some coconut cream in the bowl. What we're going to do, just place the lid down, and then we want to put this on a relatively high speed. So what I have here is about 80 grams of fresh coconut that we've got from the markets. What we're going to do is we're going to place that into the pan. You don't need any oil or anything like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook this down and evaporate all the moisture out of the coconut. Turn it to like a very dark brown color, so it's almost burnt. All right. So if you guys just see there, all the coconut powder is completely emulsified. So we have almost like a really thick custard consistency at the moment, and this is actually going to be the base for our ice cream. Now it's important that when you're toasting your coconut, that you continue to move it around. Coconut has a really high fat content in it, and if you let it sit for too long, it will burn very, very quickly. All right guys, so the coconut's toasted and it's looking really, really good. Now that's the sort of color that you're looking for. You want some really dark pieces in there. As I was saying, that's really going to completely transform this coconut flavor. So we're just gonna let that just cool down for a second. In the meantime, we're just gonna get our blender set up. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to take the other amount of coconut cream that you have, just place it into your blender. Okay. Now we'll take our toasted coconut and we're just going to place it in there with the coconut cream. And from there we're going to strain it off, because one thing that matters when you're having ice cream is really, really good texture. So we want to make sure that we eliminate any of the grit. So we'll just pop the lid on. All right, so the mixture's looking quite good at the moment. It's completely emulsified. What you'll need to do is you'll need to take a bowl. Now you can use a muslin cloth, you can use a tea towel. What we're going to do is we're going to strain off this mixture, keep all the liquid, and you want to discard the pulp. But sometimes it's a really, really good idea to actually do this little bits at a time. Now what you want to do is you want to take the corners, almost fold it up like a nappy. From there, just rotate, and you just want to squeeze out all that goodness. Now what's going to happen is you're going to keep all the fats, all the liquids from the coconut, but you're just going to hold on to all that pulp. All right, now once you've squeezed out the majority of the liquid, that's the sort of stuff that you should have left. So we'll just discard that. So this is our toasted coconut cream just here. What we're going to do is we're going to place it in the stand mixer, also with a little bit of brown sugar, and we're just going to put it on a high setting and just make sure it's completely combined. All right, now that's looking really, really good. It's got a beautiful color to it. Awesome. So that there, guys, that's the color that you're looking for with this toasted coconut ice cream. All right, so the next thing we're gonna need to do is you wanna place it into a tin. Now, when you place ice cream into a tin, it's really important that you use something that's either square or rectangle. So we'll just place that ice cream in. It looks wonderful. And we're just gonna place it into the freezer, and this will probably take overnight to chill and to freeze properly. Cool. So what we're gonna move on to is the peanut butter biscuit. Now I absolutely love this biscuit. This is one of my favorite biscuits that I actually make. So what you're gonna need to do is you need to take some self-raising flour, place it into a bowl. Also take some plain flour as well. Goes in. From there, we wanna add our peanut butter. Take a small amount of butter as well. And then just some brown sugar. All right, now there's no polite way to do this, you just need to get stuck in with your hands. Now the correct way to do it is sort of just mix it all together, and what you want to do is create little crumbs. Okay, so that consistency there is actually looking really, really good at the moment. So what we want to do is place that onto some baking paper. And what you want to do is just slowly start to just push this together. Form a ball, but like I said, you don't want to overwork it into a dough that'll become quite tough. Okay, so I'll just show you what you're trying to achieve. If you see there's different colors going on. So there's some bits that have got maybe a little bit more butter, some bits that maybe have a little bit more flour. The really cool thing about this is when we bake it, there's going to be so many different types of consistencies and tastes and textures. So we just place that on some baking paper, push it all out. Now the cool thing about this is if you have a look, we have some high points, we also have some very low points. Now the parts that are low are actually going to cook a lot quicker and be caramelized. The bits that are a little bit higher are going to be a little bit undercooked and almost a little bit more buttery. So it's going to be a really beautiful combination of flavors. You're going to have some bits that are a bit more buttery and blonde, and you're going to have bits that are quite nutty. Okay, so we're just going to place the biscuit in an oven now at about 180 degrees. Now this will take anywhere between 12 to probably 18 minutes to cook. Alright guys, so I've had a look at the biscuit. It's looking really, really good. Okay, we'll just take it out. Now as you can see, we've got some really heavily caramelized bits, and then the parts in the middle will actually be a little bit buttery, a little bit sweeter. All you want to do is just place it aside and just allow it to cool down. Okay, so the biscuit's looking great. It's time to move on to the salted banana mousse. Now this is so incredibly easy to make and really, really tasty. So what you'll need is just a few bananas. We'll use 3 today. And you'll just need to just peel them. And we just want to break these down into a slightly more smaller size. You don't need to worry about the shapes that you're cutting them into, because we're actually going to cook these down into a mousse. Now we just want to place them into a fry pan. All right, now we just want to put that on a high to medium heat. Now from there, what we're going to do is just add a little bit of brown sugar, and then a really, really good pinch of salt. Now what that salt will do is take this over to the savory realm and almost make this like it will almost mimic a salted caramel taste. Okay, so the bananas are starting to break down. They're looking really, really good. What we want to do now is just put the lid on it, and that'll help them cook just a little bit quicker. Okay, so the bananas are broken down and they're looking really, really good at this stage. So what we want to do is just add it to a blender. We're going to break it down so it turns into like a really nice solid mousse. what we want to do now is just strain it, just to make sure that it's very, very smooth. Okay, so as you can see, 3 bananas really doesn't yield you much, but I guarantee this is absolute gold. Okay, so we've got the ice cream setting in the freezer. We've got our crumb that's cooling down. We've just finished our banana mousse, so it's time to move on to the chocolate ganache. So what you'll need to do is just take a glass bowl and place it over some boiling water. And what we want to do is we just want to add all the chocolate. Now to make sure that this melts at an even consistency, you just need to make sure that you keep moving it around. So what we want to do just to sort of thin this out and make it a little bit more indulgent is we're going to add some cream. So we just place that in the chocolate. Along with a little bit more powdered sugar, just to keep the sweetness level there. And from there, you just want to keep working this and completely combine it. Now the starter might look like it's not going to come together, but if you just work with it, be patient, it's going to turn into a really nice, beautiful chocolate ganache. Now that ganache is looking amazing. Everything's completely emulsified now. So all we need to do is just set this aside and let it rest. All right guys, so we're almost there, onto the final step. It's time for the pisang goreng. So you just need to take a banana and you just want to cut it into your desired shapes. So what we're going to do is, rather than use a soggy batter, which we cook it and then won't keep it crispy, we're actually going to use potato starch. So you just take your banana, give it a really, really good coating in your potato starch, and then just set it aside. We're just going to add them to some really hot oil. But there we are. They look incredible. So we'll just place them on a little bit of paper towel, which will get rid of that excess oil. Okay everyone, so we've got all our elements completed. It's time to plate up now. Now I'm going to show the average home cook how to plate up, just a little bit Master Chefy. So what you want to do is take that ganache that you made before, just with a paintbrush, and we're going to pick one side of the plate, and we're going to put down a really nice thick smear of that chocolate. Just like so. All right, from there we're going to take that beautiful salted banana mousse that we made before, and we're just going to pipe some dots around the plate. Just like so. Try to keep it really random. Sometimes when you're plating up and you use even numbers, what the human eye will do is actually draw a line through the plate, and you'll be able to tell things if they're a little bit off center. From there we're going to take our pisang goreng, and we're just going to place it randomly around the plate. Now as you can see, we have a small little gap here. What I'm going to do is put down the peanut butter biscuit, and it's actually going to be the anchor point for the ice cream today. The other thing that this peanut butter biscuit is going to do is actually just add a bit of texture to the entire mouthfeel of this dessert as well. Then we'll take a few of these coriander leaves. Now I know coriander in a dessert sounds a little bit crazy, but it actually really works for this flavor combination. Okay, the only thing left to do now, guys, is to get that ice cream to put a really nice cornell on the plate. Now when you're cornelling, what you'll need is some really, really hot water and a spoon that you trust. Now what you'll need to do is make sure that your spoon becomes quite hot, because metal is a great conductor of heat. Once you actually go into the ice cream, it's going to be very, very chilled, very cold. It's going to cool down the temperature of the spoon and you'll be at risk of actually having the ice cream stick to your spoon. So to make sure we get that perfect cornell today, I'm just going to work the ice cream just into the side. Now you don't have to do a cornell on your plate if you don't want, you can just do a perfectly fine ice cream scoop. But if you do learn to do this properly, it's very, very impressive when you're holding dinner parties. All right. Here we go, guys. That's my version of pisang goreng. Okay guys, so in this video you saw that we made our own homemade ice cream in the Oxone stand mixer. If you want to find out any more information about the Oxone products, you can visit Oxone online. You can also follow myself at Ben Ungerman, and also make sure you subscribe to this video.